On the downward slide to the weekend, and we'll be looking for some cooler conditions, not an Arctic blast, although that could be an interesting situation as we go into the end of next week. Stay tuned for more on that, and we'll also be talking a little bit more about a break in the rainfall. Several breaks, in fact. We could use a bit of a break, no kidding, around here with that rain chances continuing off and on, and still could be the possibility of some localized flooding. Weather where the troops are, and your opportunity to learn about severe weather training, how you can get ready for severe weather season and help the National Weather Service out. We'll talk more about Skywarn training coming up in just a little bit. Welcome to Weather Overtime. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austen Onek. You're watching News 12's Weatherblog to help you know a little bit more about what's going on with the weather in more of an expanded format. We try not to go over 8 to 10 minutes here just for recording time purposes because we don't want to bore you to tears, but we do like to explain a little bit more about what's going on. If you got questions or concerns, criticisms, if you absolutely must, give me a shout at aonek@wdef.com or find more of us on wdef.com/weather. Next couple of days, downturn in the temperatures. Again, not exactly Arctic chill, but we will be looking at cooler temperatures, closer to normal at least, for just a little bit. And chances of rain off and on. Fog tomorrow morning is going to be a bit of an issue. Rain tomorrow off and on could be a problem for getting out and trying to sink that putt. So definitely want to take it as carefully as possible, especially holding a ginormous rod of metal when there's going to be lightning out that direction. So please remember, let's be careful out there. Almanac, up until the time that we're recording this mid-evening, we've only managed to pick up a fraction of an inch, whereas over the last couple of days, we have picked up a lot more than that, about a couple of inches per day. So we're doing very well on rainfall for both the month, about 2 inches over there, and about 4.5 inches just over that for the entire year. So we are doing very well on rainfall. Could probably turn the spigot off for a little bit, and temperatures about 20 degrees above normal for both the high and the low temperature. So we're looking at some very mild tropical air as we go into the late portions of autumn across the area. A team effort here today. Thanks very much for the picture taken by Melvin Taylor and submitted by Debbie Walden of the Greasy Creek, Tennessee area off Highway 64. Nice little fog shot there, breaking its way through areas of the background around the trees. And again, that's our West Shore home weather window picture of the day. If you got pictures, make sure you send them to wdef.com, pictures@wdef.com, and find out more, again, at our website for more details there. Much of what we're seeing for the next couple of days is going to be the potential of more of these storm systems, one after the other, making their way through the area and lined up quite nicely. After that, we catch a bit of a break again into the weekend with high pressure and drier conditions coming in from off the Pacific. So little, if anything, really major taking place, and so far not seeing anything in the way of huge amounts of rainfall, but enough to cause problems. More on that in just a second. Running the numbers into tomorrow morning, upper 50s to lower 60s, spotty showers and thunderstorms possible, clearing out as we go toward Friday afternoon and evening, and then returning to chances of showers and maybe some thunderstorms as we get into around Saturday afternoon, mainly back to the west of us, but that'll be heading our way into Saturday and early Sunday. And after that, we start to look at less chances of rainfall. Fog into tomorrow morning. I would not be surprised in the next couple of hours if we do not get some dense fog advisories issued across portions of the area. Now, the News 12 viewing area is covered over by National Weather Service, Morristown, Tennessee, here, from the National Weather Service in Huntsville here, and the National Weather Service in Peachtree City, Georgia here. So several locations may issue dense fog advisories, some earlier than others. Either way, with numbers like this, please be ready to extend your travels into tomorrow morning and make certain that you've got enough time to get to where you're going without rushing on through. Heaviest rainfall by far for today was around up toward Nashville, northern Middle Tennessee, I-40. We did manage to pick up some heavier activity in the western News 12 viewing area, and we've got a lot more expected over the next several days, including into the weekend, where we could be picking up yet another couple of inches of rainfall, mainly in the northwestern and southwestern parts of the viewing area. So anywhere you see the purple, 1.5 inches plus, all that water's got to go someplace. And you may have heard about Dollywood shutting down its fireworks displays for the rest of the year due to possible fire danger out there. Just because we've had a decent amount of rainfall does not mean that the threat is gone, and most, if not all, of eastern Tennessee into the Appalachians are under some form of drought or extremely dry conditions. So a very wise decision from Dollywood, the management there, and also the Pigeon Forge Fire Department keeping an eye on things. Now, we will be picking up more rainfall into the next couple of days. Also, the possibility of some pretty good snow up into portions of the Dakotas and the upper Midwest. The very cold air for now in the next few days is going to be well to our west, and for us, it's going to be basically just normal conditions. So we're getting closer to that on the temperatures in the next few days. So mid-60s, very mild for Saturday. Then we start to settle down into as the front passes down to the south, that'll allow the cooler air to make its way on through. So looking at temperatures doing a little bit of an about face back in the upper 50s. We'll catch a bit of a break from Sunday evening through about Tuesday afternoon, and then more chances of rain start to make their way on through Tuesday into Wednesday. Not seeing anything in the way of paralyzingly cold weather, but we will be looking at cooler conditions out there. Now, for the long range, we are talking about the next several days into around the middle portion of the month. That is where we start to see what looks to be a pretty vigorous system coming on through the area of low pressure, making its way into the midsection of the country. We could start to see the potential of showers and more thunderstorms coming on through on Tuesday into Wednesday and lingering possibly into Thursday. The possibility from the Great Lakes back into the Rockies of winter weather could be a concern. Maybe the possibility of feet of snow back into around portions of the Dakotas, west of Minneapolis and Des Moines. We'll be watching that very carefully. Now, as we remove the precipitation from here, notice the temperatures up there. Blue and purple is the very cold air, and that comes spilling down out of northern Canada. This is almost polar air coming on through. So by the time we work our way into the end of next week, the very mild air is going to be disappearing, it looks like for now. And then in the days right before Christmas, we could be seeing a lot of this colder air start to make its way a little bit closer to us, and definitely some changes in the temperatures coming up if this forecast holds into the later part of the month. Stay tuned to News 12. We'll keep you updated on that. Back into northwestern Greenland for weather where the troops are, where not everybody can make their way home for the holidays wearing the uniform of our country. 28 degrees, but winds gusting to 44 miles per hour. So that's taking the wind chill down to 10 degrees above zero. Definitely on the chilly side there. The complete opposite into Diego Garcia in the Indian Ocean. 81 degrees reported at the Naval Support Facility. Winds out of the south at 9. High humidity, and the temperature on the heat index in the mid to upper 80s. National Weather Service in Morristown is bringing back the in-person volunteer storm spotter Skywarn training sessions. The one for Hamilton County and Chattanooga will be held on Friday, February 10th at 6 p.m. at the Memorial Hospital Community Rooms on DeSales Avenue, 37404. Now, this is totally free. Your tax dollars, my tax dollars pay for it. You do have to register because space is limited. So if you'd like to know more, all you have to do is go to weather.gov/MRX. That is the three-letter designator for the National Weather Service Morristown on the internet. And you can also find out more about getting ready for severe weather on our website. You can program your weather radio with our help. Go to WDEF.com/weather to find out more about how these weather radios can save your life by programming in which counties you want to be alerted for and which warnings and watches you want to be alerted for. You do not have to have yourself woken up for blizzard warnings in North Dakota or for an avalanche warning somewhere in Utah. You can program what you want to be woken up for overnight and what you want to be alerted for in general. Very handy to have, life-saving piece of equipment. Consider getting yourself one. They're out and about, usually about 20, 30 bucks, somewhere in there. And you can find out more about all this on my social media pages for more details on that. We'll have more information on the forecast, especially on the changing conditions into next week, again at WDEF.com/weather. And if you have any other concerns, questions, or suggestions for what you want to see on here, drop me a line. Again, that's at aonek@WDEF.com. Chip Chapman has your forecast, bright and early Friday morning, starting at 5 a.m. Eastern. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austen Onek. Thanks for joining us for Thursday evening's edition of News 12's Weather Overtime.